Thank you for coming. I know many of you traveled great distances to come here today and help me say goodbye. My father was a great man, an awfully great man. It's amazing to think all of the things that he accomplished from his very humble beginnings. From a young age, it was obvious that he was meant for greater things. When he was young, he was a very talented pilot. So talented, in fact, that it enabled him to win his freedom from slavery, but at a cost. I don't think people really ever understood how hard of a life my father had. The first half of his youth, he was a slave. In the second half of his youth, he was away from his mother at military school. When he went home to visit my grandmother, he found out the sad news that she had died while he was away. He had lofty aspirations for himself, but upon hearing of my grandmother's death, he vowed to learn how to stop people from dying. Difficult as his early years were, he did have a soft side. He loved the beach and the sound of birds, and a lot of people don't know this, but he was extremely romantic. He once said to my mother, "When I'm around you, my mind is no longer its own." Although my father wasn't there when I was growing up and young, he did seek me out when I was older and wanted a relationship with me, but I wasn't ready for that. We got into an argument and had a fight, but I forgave him for that. Like all people, my father had a dark side. My mother once told him that he wasn't all-powerful. He said, "But I should be, and one day I will be." And you know what? I believe there was a time that he was. But now he's gone. He gave his life. He sacrificed his life to save my own. He died in my arms. His last words to me were, "You were right. You were right about me." He gave his life for me. How many sons can say that about their fathers? But let's not grieve for my father and the force that he was, and remember the force that was in him is in us, and it's all around us. And some say that when he was alive, he brought balance, and I say in his death he still does. Let's look at his life, the example of his life, the lessons from his life. Let's learn from them. Let's remember him as being part of our story and that we are part of his. And be thankful for knowing him. And if I could say one last thing to him, I would say goodbye. You were my father.